Good morning and thanks for joining us today. I'm Joe Lemley.
And I'm Tommy Kane. This morning we start with news from over the weekend. One of Siena's freshman dorms, Ryan Hall, had a small fire break out in the laundry room.
This fire was caused by one of the dryers in the laundry room located on the ground floor. Luckily, there were no injuries and the building's fire safety systems worked properly to contain the fire. The Colony Police Department, Loudonville Fire Department, Siena's facilities, and public safety assessed the situation and ensured the laundry room is safe to use and there is no other threat of a repeated incident. Keep in mind, to ensure fires do not occur, make sure to remove the lint from the dryer after use. As the school year comes to an end, many high school seniors are preparing for the fall. This past weekend, Siena opened the gates to prospective students for their annual Accepted Students Day.
Over the weekend, students got to meet future classmates, enjoy activities, and try out the dining halls. Future Saints were able to meet their new furry friend Baloo and were met with a warm welcome by President Chuck Seifert.
Absolutely love the opportunity to meet with these students, their parents, and really tell them all the great things about Siena.
The next Accepted Students Day will be April 30th. The Siena College Research Institute is getting ready to release a Capital Region Progress Report. The polls measure life rates of residents in the Capital Region.
Morning Brew's Chris Hicks has more on SCRI's newest findings.
The Siena College Research Institute is a research center located on campus. It consists of student and professional callers who survey residents all over the country.
We are a public opinion research lab. We have a call center here on site at Siena College campus in Hines Hall, but also we have remote interviewers all across the nation. And what we do is we poll on political issues, economic issues, social issues, and cultural issues.
SCRI covers research on many different issues all around the country, constantly updating their website with new results. So, what do they do with these polls?
We use this research to inform not only policymakers, but also stakeholders and everyday people in the public, because everyone's voice and experience matters, and we want to make sure we record those experiences.
Named the #1 most accurate pollster, SCRI uses their influence to give a voice to the people.
I think it's incredibly important. So right now we're in the year 2025. This is the year that you don't have an election, and especially here in New York State or at the federal level. So this is when people have the chance to express their satisfaction or dissatisfaction with public policy. This gives people a chance to express how easy life is to live around here or how difficult it is to live around here. We give people a voice, especially those who are most marginalized, the folks who have the least amount of power, and we want to make sure that all perspectives and experiences are heard.
Because they're located at the heart of campus, SCRI gives students here at Siena the opportunity to gain experience and improve their skills of surveying.
They get great phone skills, great communication skills, and they're able to have experience, understand what data collection is like. Not only reading the results of a poll, but understand how a poll is made, from asking the right questions, making sure that the way that they're asked is unbiased. We love having our students involved.
The most recent poll covers life here in the Capital Region.
It's unique because this survey is sort of like a report card. If you think about K through 12 education, right after the quarter, you get a report card with your grades. So we actually give the Capital Region a report card on affordability, on opportunity, livability, and culture. And the unique part about this study that we did is we did not only talk to people here in the Capital Region, in Albany, Schenectady, Rensselaer, and Saratoga counties, but we also spoke to a representative sample across the nation. So we can compare how we are doing here in the Capital Region to a representative sample of the nation.
The Capital Region Progress Report comes out today. There's an event reviewing the results in Snyder Hall from 1 to 3 p.m. You can also find the results on the SCRI website. With the Morning Brew, I'm Chris Hicks.
Since the COVID-19 pandemic, Albany has faced a housing and homelessness crisis.
However, Siena College's IPCC program is doing their part to help alleviate the issue. Matt Coloma tells us how.
This is an IPCC meeting. IPCC standing for Interprofessional Complex Care. It's a program here at Siena College, but what exactly does that mean?
It's an opportunity for students to work with, whether you're from nursing, social work, or have any plans to be in the healthcare field, to work together to come alongside clients in the community to help them navigate the healthcare system, so the complexities of navigating the healthcare system.
One of the students that shared their experiences with the IPCC was Ella Philbin, a senior nursing major who's been involved with the program since September.
Very illuminating experience. I got to learn a lot about what it means to be a social worker as well as what it means to be a nurse out in the field. I was kind of secluded to the acute care, like hospitals, but this kind of gave me a different scope of what people need on the outside of the hospital.
The program sent students into Albany to volunteer at various sites within the Albany Housing Coalition. And many of the students from the IPCC volunteer here at the Sergeant Henry Johnson Veterans House. The Sergeant Henry Johnson Veterans House provides veterans with transitional housing, and beyond being a beautiful property, one goal remains a constant.
We stabilize their health, medical, physical, mental, emotional, so they can be stabilized before they become independent living in housing. We also have additional programs like employment specialists, rapid rehousing within the umbrella.
Some of the other residencies are located on Walter Street and Clinton Ave, but the residents here could not be more grateful.
We've been having problems, but major problems a year and a half ago before I came here. And this place has been a blessing, very helpful, getting you coordinated with things that you need, different programs, health, mental health, work.
So what are some reasons to join the IPCC program?
Skills that you learn in this setting are incredibly important to your practice in whatever healthcare field that you end up with. And there's really not an opportunity. So much of the learning that we do is in siloed classrooms. So the nursing students are all together, or the social work students, or the health study students. And so this is an opportunity to come together and learn from each other.
Because it's a rich experience. It makes you a better nurse, it makes you a better healthcare worker, it makes you a better social worker.
Professional growth through service, and learning through acts of kindness. For Morning Brew, I'm Matt Coloma.
On Sunday, the Colleges Against Cancer Club took part in a Relay for Life at the Sage Armory. This event was to support those affected by cancer.
Participants were able to make their own stuffed animals, join the Survivor Lap, a cake auction, and the Luminaria ceremony, which Siena students had the opportunity to take part in alongside the art club. On Tuesday, the Asian Student Association hosted Squid Games. The SSU was filled with fun games based on the hit Netflix series to test your skills. And if the games got too much, refreshments and snacks were provided.
According to RAIN, the Rape, Abuse, Incest National Network, 1 in 2 adult women and 1 in 4 adult men have experienced unwanted sexual contact in their lifetime.
On Wednesday, Siena students were invited to a Surviving Through Stories event by the Title IX office, Women's Center, Health Promotion, and English Department to share stories, poems, narratives, and open the conversation to a prevalent issue. The event took place in the Norm and offered refreshments, mindfulness activities, and an opportunity to an open conversation in a safe place. If you or someone you know ever needs help or someone to talk to, the Siena Health Promotion Office is open to help. They're located in Foy Hall, room 109A. February 3rd, over 60,000 people have reportedly died since October 7th in Israel and Palestine. Yesterday, Siena's mission office brought in Jed Ebanks and Reverend John Parlberg to discuss the ongoing conflict in the Middle East.
As the event's name indicated, they shared stories of resilience, solidarity, and hope. The event allowed students to learn and listen to the stories of citizens in the area. For more events like this, look on Saints Connect. It's been over 2 decades since the events of 9/11, a moment in history that took the lives of nearly 3,000 people.
Gordon Hugh was on the ground that day, fighting to save lives. Now, he travels across the U.S. to tell his story. SCTV's Matt Cohen tells us more.
Siena College's bells of remembrance first rang after the events of 9/11 in honor of Father Michael Judge. But to guest speaker Gordon Huey, a survivor of 9/11, they have an entirely different meaning.
I got involved with these talks because I'm a survivor of the 9/11 attacks. I'm what's called a triple. The 3 things that make me a triple is I'm a survivor of Tower 2. I'm a family member. My sister died in Tower 1. I'm a rescue worker. I was doing surgery that morning, sewing people together.
Gordon came to Siena to share his story, wanting to place an emphasis on what really happened during the attacks. He'd explained his experience witnessing the calamity and how he performed surgeries in a conference room, wanting to help anyone he could. For most, the attack seemed like a lifetime ago, but for Gordon, they are a part of his everyday life.
What people don't realize is that 69 different types of cancer, I got 3 of them. I've gone through so many surgeries, so I have to change my dressings 3 times a day. I have my PTSD where I sleep 6 days on average per year. So I would gladly let it go, except I'm reminded of the attack. 24 years later, I'm reminded of the attack every single day.
Gordon's life mission is to spread his story to as many people as he can, paying for his own travels along the way. His talks are his biggest motivator and biggest healing factor, because to Gordon, never forget is a way of life. Despite everything Gordon has faced, he just wants everyone to remember one thing. He's not a hero, he's just an American who wanted to help. Reporting for SCTV, I'm Matt Cohen. Back to you.
Unexpected text messages claiming you owe unpaid tolls are targeting individuals nationwide, including members of our local community. These scams can lead to financial loss and identity theft.
Our Siena Xavier has the story.
Every day, people travel for various reasons: commuting to work, attending practice sessions, heading to class, visiting family, and so much more. During these daily routines, receiving a text message about an unpaid toll can be both unexpected and alarming.
A few weeks ago, I went to visit my best friend for her birthday down in New York City. Upon returning home, I received this text message from EasyPass claiming that I had an unpaid toll bill. When I went to pay it, it asked me for my PIN number to my card. So right away, I knew it was a scam.
I'm from Connecticut, so I travel a lot back and forth, and it's not rare for me to get any tolls. But this one was a bit weird because I got a text message, and I've never received a text message before. It's usually just charged to the EasyPass, or I get a paper in the mail, so I thought it was a bit weird.
These fraudulent messages are designed to create a sense of urgency, pressuring people into quick action without verification. 9 times out of 10, your tolling provider will not send you a text. Instead, they'll send you a piece of mail that usually looks like this. If you do receive a text that you did not sign up for, do not click on any links or give any personal information. This is an ongoing problem that's affecting a lot of people, but is now affecting the Siena community.
These scammers are using traditional social engineering techniques where they're trying to trick you into believing and trusting that they're legitimate. So they will use the real company's names, something like Department of Transportation or direct EasyPass links, and then they'll make links for you to click on that look very legitimate. But if you look closely, they're not the actual links that are published by these companies. And lastly, the other thing that they're also doing is that they put a sense of urgency kind of to get you to act quickly, thinking that you may be costing yourself more money by waiting.
The Federal Trade Commission emphasizes the importance of reporting and deleting unwanted text messages. Use your phone's report junk feature or forward the message to 7726 spam. For more information or identifying and avoiding scams, visit the Federal Trade Commission's website at ftc.gov. Staying vigilant and questioning communications can help you from becoming a victim of tolling scams. When in doubt, contact the tolling agency themselves for complete accuracy. Reporting for SCTV's Morning Brew, I'm Siena Xavier.
They don't seek recognition or stand in the spotlight, but their impact is felt all across campus.
This morning, we're shining a light on some of Siena's unsung heroes. Our own Amber Fisher has the story.
Hello, housekeeping?
When we think of Siena College, we often think of the students, professors, and the athletics. But there's a whole group of people working behind the scenes, from early mornings to late at night, that make this campus feel like home. These are the people who know the rhythm of this campus better than anyone. They've watched hundreds of students come and go, and yet they show up every day to do the hard work that makes college life possible.
Typical day, mostly cleaning, picking up, and deep clean during the summertime, and we dust and sweep and mop.
Sometimes the other don't know how it's hard, to cleaning, don't know about how to clean, how to use the machine, do it for the custodial job.
While the floors are mopped and the trash is taken out, there's another important job happening inside of Siena's kitchens.
Students line up here every day for lunch, but we don't always stop to notice the friendly faces who are keeping us fed. These are the people who keep Siena running.
just making sure they're all, you know, doing their temperatures. We're on top of making sure the food is full, making sure the food is good, making sure it's good looking, making sure it's cooked properly, just things like that.
Well, I do a lot of things here besides cashier. I take care of the condiments, the napkins, the plasticware, clean up tables, and talk to a lot of students and enjoy it.
And the workers say that the appreciation that they receive does not go unnoticed.
I've been working since 2021, and I feel like we steadily every year we get more recognition about how much work we actually do here at Casey's and the things that go on, and you know, we're not just interacting with the students and then just giving them food, but they actually care about us, they actually care about coming here, they actually care about how the place looks.
And while students rush from class to class, the custodians, maintenance crew, and cafe workers are the unsung heroes here at Siena. They don't wear Siena gear, give lectures, or take notes. What they do is keep our spaces clean and serve up food with a smile. And their hard work might not make headlines, but their impact is felt every day. And they have a good reason for doing such hard work.
Well, the students, definitely. I mean, the hugs, the smiles, just, you know, they'll come up to you at any time of day and just want to give you a hug. And they share moments in their life with us, and it's very nice. We definitely enjoy the closeness of the students.
Take their time out and just, like, you know, engage with them and talk to them more, because, you know, we're here serving their food, but we also want to make sure that they're good, you know, how they feel about the food we're serving.
Started working here because of for my future of my kids. I try to bring here my kids for the college. That's why I need to work, because, you know, I try to help my family overseas. You know, I have my mom and my dad still in the Philippines.
To see smiling faces and helping out the community, the atmosphere, the environment is good to hear.
So the next time you pass by, take a second to wave, smile, or say thank you. Because Siena wouldn't be what it is without the village behind it. Reporting from Loudonville with the Morning Brew, I'm Amber Fisher.
And still to come, Joe got the chance to sit down with the winner of this year's Mr. Siena.
Plus, Tommy and I got the chance to learn CPR, and you can too. Find out how next.
Plus, the Minecraft movie is trending all over the internet. Jake Salvi tells us what students here on campus think of the film.
Welcome back. After the 20th anniversary of Mr. Siena, run by Habitat for Humanity, I'm here with this year's winner, Pat Linehan. Pat, appreciate you taking the time today. Thanks for joining us.
Of course, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so obviously you won this year's Mr. Siena. Walk me through that moment and what it was like when you were announced as the winner.
You know, Joe, it was unreal. After doing this for 4 years, it was something I was really, really looking forward to, getting that crown, celebrating with those guys, hugging my family, and just really taking in the moment.
Now, all your family was in attendance for this?
Yeah, my mom, my sister, my aunt were there. It was a good crew there for me.
That's awesome. Now, talk to me a little bit about your skit, right? You had President Cypher in the mix, and throughout the whole night, you talked to the fans all night long, but just that skit in particular with President Cypher, how'd you get that planned, and how special was that for you?
Well, I like to do my talents, I like to have them unique. I focus all more on the entertainment aspect, whether people like it or believe it or not. I just want people to laugh and enjoy it and say, like, wow, that was really creative and original. And I really feel like I hit the nail on the head with this one. President Chuck was great up on stage with me, and we made some people laugh, and that's all I could ask for.
Now, did you have a little bit of preparation with him one-on-one before the show, or was there much that you guys kind of did together behind the scenes, or was it kind of like, okay, I'm just going to ask Chuck to do this like before the show starts and see if he says yes?
It was a fun skit we decided to do. as I was thinking of something unique to do, I was like, oh, what about a hypnosis show? That could be cool. Obviously, I'm not a hypnotist, but I was like, okay, who could I hypnotize that could like really get the crowd going and make it fun? And he was the first guy who came to mind, so I asked him, and he was so on board with it. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah. Whose idea was it for the snow day reference?
That was mine.
I love it.
That was mine.
That's awesome.
And he was on board with it too. The
Yeah?
second we were going over it, I was like,
perfect.
I was like, I'm gonna make this joke. And he's like, oh, it's perfect. I love it. Good.
That's awesome. Now, what was the preparation like, just in general, to make this show happen? I know you had other guys with you working on this, and obviously other people behind the scenes. Just walk me through the course of this semester, what you guys have had to do to prep for this show.
Yeah, so we put our team together actually last fall, about September, October. And from then on, we were meeting here and there, talking about a skit, talking about how the show would go. And then in January, we hit the ground running, twice a week dancing, sometimes 3 times a week, learning that 8-minute dance at the beginning. And then on our own, we'd have to work on our talents. Here and there, we'd talk about the skit we did, our Saturday Night Live skit. And then leading up to the show, the week of the show, we were every day. And then we had long rehearsals Friday night, Saturday morning, and then right before the show, and then showtime.
Now, I gotta imagine there's some of you guys who may not be natural dancers, so
Oh, yeah.
how did you guys transform your skills that quickly? And you all looked like pretty professional in my eyes.
Yeah, I got to give all the credit to our choreographers, Caitlin Delmar and Emily Carr. All the choreographers have turned, I guess, from my personal experience, me into a dancer, if you will, for the past 4 years, having us teach us to do things that I didn't think I could do. And just the ideas that they come up with, the songs, the moves, everything, the way they teach, I have to give all the credit to them.
Yeah. Now, talk about the bond, right? Obviously, you did this with other gentlemen as well. What's that connection like now? Obviously, some of them you probably never knew before this, and you go into this journey together, and now you come out as possibly brothers. What's that connection like?
Of course. I mean, especially during rehearsals, being together all day, going through the stressful times, the fun times, the laughs, it really brings you together. And you're doing something fun. You're going every day, looking forward to going to the practice twice a week to have fun. And when you're going somewhere with the same guys to do something fun, you look forward to seeing them. So I think in the end, after we've been together for all that time, had all that fun, we didn't want to end.
What would you say was one of the most memorable experiences or fun experiences, so to say, throughout everything? Was it a practice? Was it the event in general? Or was there a key moment that really just stood out to you?
So one moment that I always enjoy is always pre-show. We're always in the aerobics room, and it's always just the guys in there, huddled up, just talking, letting out the emotions, because it's a big deal. It's a big deal what we do, and we're just in that circle, letting out the emotions, being real. And I think that's where the true bond forms, because we're just like, this is happening. We are doing this as a group.
Yeah. Now, obviously, Luke Keith did a big part of kind of emceeing the night. You certainly helped with that as well. Obviously, this is your 4th year, which is crazy to think about for you. Now, did you have to prep a lot with Luke to kind of navigate how that was going to work? And did you get nervous at all with okay, I got a long chunk of stuff I want to talk about to the fans? How did that all play out?
So, are you referring to our skit that we did?
During the beginning when you guys talked back and forth, you had the suit and everything?
Yes.
Yeah.
So with the host in general, there always is a lot of preparation needs to go into it, because he obviously is a big part of the show and needs to have his scripts and everything ready to go. But yeah, we communicated back and forth. I'm like, hey, for this skit portion, I'm going to talk about some of this stuff, things like that, run a few things by him. And also as a friend, just say like, hey, what do you think of this? So we bounced some things off each other, for sure.
Yeah. Now, one thing I learned about you is you got a little bit of a comedian side to yourself. You were telling some jokes to the fans. Where'd those come from? What was the inspiration behind those?
I mean, I don't want to say it's just me naturally, but it was just me speaking. And that SNL cold open was all off the top of my head. And also one thing that I like to do when I try to make people laugh is I like to make fun of myself. Because I feel like if you know yourself the best. You know yourself inside and out. You can make those funny jokes, and it shows you're confident in yourself. I like making jokes about myself and having other people laugh about it.
Well, it certainly showed, and a big reason, I mean, the suit. I just gotta say, wow, that stole the show. I don't know, that suit in Bruno Mars was pretty close, but tell me, I mean, where'd you get the suit from?
Joe, when I tell you I'm obsessed with that suit, I put it on for the first time. I was like, whoa. I didn't want to take it off. I got home after the show. I was upset. Not that the show ended, that I had to take my suit off. I love that thing. And I rented it. I rented it at Men's Warehouse.
There you go. That's awesome. And as I mentioned, as you touched upon, year 4, right? Year 4 doing this, you did it every single year. What made year 4, this year in particular, so special?
Obviously winning. Winning had to be the best part. And just being that figure that everyone looks up to in that room beforehand makes you feel real special. So I was there 4 years, and there's some guys who were my age and who has only been there once, still looking up for advice. And I'm always proud to be that person in the room.
So what's that one piece of advice you would give to the current men who are in this and maybe the future Siena Saints that come into it?
Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. You're doing it for a great cause. Don't be afraid.
Awesome. Pat Linehan, I appreciate the time. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Joe.
We'll be right back.
A movie based on one of the best-selling video games of all time is making a serious wave. A Minecraft movie has made over $300 million so far and has spawned several viral internet moments. Our own Jake Salvi talked to some Siena students about their thoughts on the film.
About a week ago, a piece of art dropped that made the world stop, something that will be compared to the greats and historians will look back on for generations. And you can see it right here at Crossgates, or any local theater near you. Of course, I'm talking about the Minecraft movie.
The Minecraft movie was a hit before it even released in theaters. The movie gained so much traction with its trailer, it had people fighting like a chicken jockey to get tickets and leaving more than happy.
I enjoyed it because, again, I grew up watching, playing Minecraft, so it was like a nostalgic thing.
I did. It was like my favorite movie.
I did. It was pretty funny.
Minecraft is also an incredibly popular video game, something that drove attraction to the movie through the roof. The game allowed players to build whatever their mind could imagine, from Tuscan houses to parkour challenges, just a little something for everyone.
I played Minecraft since I was 11.
Yes, sir. I had when I was a kid. That was kind of my siblings and I played it a lot.
The film showcased star actors, tributes, creative crafting table inventions, and an adventure of a lifetime. All of these combined got their audience incredibly excited, looking forward to seeing their favorite clips and quotes from the trailer in the movie. Maybe even a little too much.
Yeah, for this movie, a lot of people were throwing popcorn and stuff. It was kind of crazy.
Yeah, but that was a whole. We were at a really small movie theater, and there was a lot of kids, so it wasn't as hype until the end where everybody clapped and whatever.
And speaking of adventure of a lifetime, I accidentally wandered around Crossgates a little too much and ended up in the Nether. And I really don't think I'm supposed to be here, so I'm gonna get going before I run into any mobs. But for now, reporting from the Nether with the Morning Brew, I'm Jake Salvi.
While theaters have been packed for showings of the Minecraft movie, chaos has been a common theme among fans in attendance. Teens hoping to see the new Minecraft movie at one theater in Washington Township, New Jersey, must now be accompanied by an adult. The policy comes after theater owners say they were left with a major mess following the movie's opening weekend. And as Amanda Lee explains, it's all part of a viral social media trend that is tied to a specific line in the film.
Just crazy to me that they'll go ahead and they'll do damage somewhere and then post it.
The viral trend, like this scene captured in Connecticut, involves kids and teenagers causing a huge disruptance in a theater when Jack Black's character says the words chicken jockey in a fight scene.
Chicken Our daughter saw a video on TikTok of a bunch of boys who had recorded themselves at our theater causing mayhem and screaming and throwing lotion all over the seats.
Laura Rose and her husband own the Township Theater in Washington Township, where they say this trend went way too far.
A few of the seats in one of the rear rows had been ripped out of the floor. They proceeded to throw popcorn, spill their drinks, make a menace of themselves, and trash the theater.
While the staff worked to fix furniture and clean this weekend, the Family Theater shared some new rules, saying any minors wishing to see the Minecraft movie must be accompanied by an adult, and unaccompanied groups of boys will not be admitted.
Kids will be kids, right? I know that. However, a line was definitely crossed.
The wife of Weezer bassist Scott Shiner has been arrested on suspicion of attempted murder after she was shot by Los Angeles police Tuesday. Police say the incident happened as officers were trying to track down a suspect of an unrelated hit and run at a home in East LA. That is when Jillian Schreiner, who was seen in her front yard next door, allegedly armed with a gun. Police say after repeated orders to drop the gun, Schreiner allegedly pointed the weapon at officers. That is when the officers opened fire and Schreiner was struck in the shoulder. She was taken into custody and was taken to the hospital, where she was treated for a non-life-threatening gunshot wound. Arrest records show her bail has been set at $1 million. Police say Schreiner was not involved in the hit and run. Here's an update on the upcoming Sean Diddy Combs sex trafficking trial. Federal prosecutors plan to use evidence of a prior sexual assault allegation against the embattled music mogul. According to court filings made public on Monday, prosecutors are seeking to rebuke Combs' claims that so-called freak-offs or sex parties were consensual. Lawyers for Combs said prosecutors only recently said they plan to present evidence of other alleged crimes. They argue that most occurred 20 years ago or include claims made by alleged victims that have not been proven. Combs' attorneys asked the judge to exclude the testimony or hold a hearing to dig into the issue. Jennifer Lopez is set to make her return to the American Music Awards to host and perform. Plus, Twilight is going on tour. Rick Damigella with that and more with the Hollywood Minute.
Jennifer Lopez returns to the AMAs. Lopez will take on hosting and performer duties at the 2025 American Music Awards. The show airs live from Las Vegas on CBS Memorial Day Monday, May 26th.
You're impossibly fast and strong. You gotta give me some answers.
Twilight goes on tour. GEA Live announces Twilight in Concert will take place in 60 U.S. cities later this year. The event features performances of the Twilight film's soundtracks played live to film. The tour starts September 12th, running through November.
I'm going through my mom and Nona's recipes, and then I realized food is love. So I want to open an Italian restaurant. What are you, crazy?
Vince Vaughn opens a restaurant with Italian grandmothers as the chefs in Nona's. This is your first look at the well-fed comedy, which hits the table on Netflix May 9th. Getting seconds and thirds of pasta in Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
SNL star Kenan Thompson has recently opened up about a health diagnosis that has been impacting his work for years. Thompson said that he had been suffering uncomfortable symptoms for years and was eventually diagnosed with gastroesophageal reflux disease, or GERD, which is where the stomach acids are pushed up into the esophagus. Thomas says he has been doing his best to continue to provide laughs for the audience even through his pain. Get ready for a blast from the past. The hit show Doctor Who is set to return to your screen, with Nashuti Gatwa playing the Doctor and Millie Gibson is returning to play Ruby Sunday. The first episode will return to air April 12th, 2025, and the show will be available to watch on Disney Plus worldwide. When we come back, meet the members behind ASL Club on this week's edition of Join the Club. And we get a hands-on experience learning CPR with Tim Coloma that will get your heart rate up.
Welcome back. Today we are in Noble Hall hanging out with Siena Nursing.
Yeah, we're here with Mackenzie and Tim. Guys, we appreciate you joining us today. Talk to us first off a little bit about the nursing program. Whoever wants to start.
Okay, so Siena Nursing, we took over the 3rd floor of Noble Hall here. We pride ourselves on the Siena Nursing community, and we always just want to give back.
I think that's a big part of it. Like I talked about it a little bit. She talked about it a little bit, but there's a lot of intimacy in this program. It's very, very close. We all know each other. We're not even in the same program. She's at Ellis Hospital. I'm more at Albany Med, St. Peter's. But it's super cool because, you know, we crossed paths. We took A&P together freshman year. We've been through hell and back. So, yeah, we're ready to get out of it, yeah?
So with how different each program can be, with you guys being on different tracks, different hospitals and stuff like that, what does a typical day look like for a Siena nursing student who's doing a lot of stuff off campus rather than completely on campus all the time?
Yeah, so for me, I'm only on campus Thursdays for literally an hour, and that's it. Otherwise, I'm at Ellis Hospital and at the Belanger School of Nursing. So I travel about 30 minutes there, do class for about 4.5 hours, and then I travel back.
Yeah, my schedule's kind of stacked. Same for me. Thursday here, I'm about an hour. But Mondays, I'm here. I'm at Maria College from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. Wednesdays, 9 a.m. to 4. So it's Mondays are hell. Tuesdays, I'm off. Kind of nice. But I have an internship with Saratoga Hospital. I don't know if you guys do like a capstone. Yeah. So my capstone's through Saratoga, and that's usually at 6:45 in the morning on Tuesdays. So not a lot of sleep, but again, we're almost done. So, yeah.
Now, how impactful would you say these opportunities at the hospitals have been for both of you? We'll start with you, Tim.
It's everything. I think I've learned everything from my clinical hours. Like, you can't apply it until you actually see it. And I remember the most from what I've seen rather than what I've heard in classrooms and that. So yeah, that's the biggest part.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. Most likely, it just helps us adapt better to the hospital setting. So once we leave Siena, we're equipped with enough skills to feel comfortable in what we're doing.
How important would you say this building is right here to maybe nursing students who are just getting into the program, who are going to have more of an opportunity to take advantage of stuff? Because you guys just said it's so important to actually have the experience actually performing the things, do things like what we have right here actually give students the benefit to do that earlier.
Yeah, hands-on, I don't know. I mean, for me, it's everything. I know that some people learn differently, but hands-on is everything. So having this for the next generation for these people, it's going to be great. I don't have any classes here, so that part kind of sucks, but it's a revolutionary building. These dummies are unbelievable. They can do just about everything. They have them at Maria College. I'm glad they have them here now, and I hope that I can use them. And, of course, the people coming in can.
Yeah, I would say that this is definitely great for our freshman and our senior year because we all disappear for the middle 2 years, but it brings freshmen in, gets them ready, gets them equipped to what mannequins will look like at your partner school, and then our senior year we all get to enjoy some fun nursing with our fellow friends that we missed.
Now, and that's fantastic. I know these mannequins are for multi-purpose uses. Obviously, today we're here to talk to you guys more about the CPR aspect. So, first off, how did you guys learn it, and how important has it been to have these mannequins as a resource here?
Well, we're required to learn it. We have to do it. I did it through the American Heart Association about 2 years ago. Believe we have to renew it every 2 years, so I'm coming up this summer. I'm going to have to redo it. But yeah, no, I mean, once you learn it, you know, it's there, but then when you actually do it, again, I mean, that's when you remember, and that's when it's the seconds that you can save, you're saving years for these people. You know what I mean? Like, if you know what you're doing, you're adding years to these people's lives.
Yeah, I agree with him. He said everything right.
Why don't we move into the mannequins here and just take a closer look? What do we got? How is this going to go down?
Well, it's good because this guy doesn't have a pulse, probably, and he also isn't breathing. So, I mean, this is kind of realistic. The first thing you want to do is assess the area. So, if let's say this guy got shot, I'm probably not running in to save this guy's life if I'm risking my own. I don't know but that's what we learned. It's assess the area first. Then you go to the patient or the person, and you want to tap them a few times and ask them, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" Because If they respond, then there's no need for CPR. They could be sleeping. It could be an old guy. Then you want to get down to their level and listen for breath. So you can get here, you can listen to a pulse in the carotid artery, and you can watch for chest rise all at the same time. And that'll tell you everything. If you feel no pulse, there's no breath, no chest rise, this person's not living. So CPR, again, I think I read 2 to 3 times more likely for survival from like cardiac arrest. That's usually what you're given CPR for. And then you would start with compressions if you want to.
All right. So we just put your hands, your first hand, like crinkled up into that, right in like the middle of the chest, and you just push. And you do about 30 to 2 breaths. That's for an adult. And you just keep going.
You want to go 2 inches deep. So like that might not seem like a lot, but you're probably cracking the sternum, cracking some rib cages. I mean, this is your natural protector of your body. But, you know, we'll spare a few ribs to save lives, you know. You want to go for about 100 to 120 beats. So that's about 2 over 30, right? So, yeah, so the average heartbeat is 60 to 100, but this person is not average. So you want to make sure you can get the heart beating and getting blood and oxygen to the extremities and most importantly the brain.
So if you're doing this properly, then you are expecting to have some ribs and some things internally break.
Yeah, if nothing's breaking, you're not doing anything. I mean, it's because you really are physically beating for the heart, and if you're not breaking a rib, then you're not doing it right. Yeah. So then next, after you do, let's say you do that first round, then you would give 2 breaths to the patient. I don't have a pocket mask with me. I don't know if you can put pictures or anything, but the pocket mask, you put it over the patient's mouth. You're going to do like a head tilt chin lift. So you tilt the head up, get down there, give 2 breaths. You'll see it. It's pretty cool. I'm not going to do it to this guy, but you'll see the chest rise. You do that twice, and you keep going. At the beginning of CPR, before you even start, you want to say to someone else, and there will be someone else there, call 911. Someone else get an AED if you have one. So that's a defibrillator. You do the compressions, you do the breaths until you get the AED. When you get the AED, that's where, I mean, it's self-explanatory. This thing talks to you. So it tells you what to do. You apply the pads. It'll recognize a heart rhythm. Usually if you're putting AEDs on someone, they don't have one. It'll prepare a pulse. It'll charge. Everyone will step back. You'll shock, and you'll keep going until EMS comes. You want to leave the pads on them. That AED will keep charging. Pads, when the EMS gets there, they'll put their own AED on them and take them on their way in the ambulance. So,
and you know, I mean, it takes time for an EMS to get there. So how, just for like, obviously you guys have the background for it, but like for people like us who maybe are not in the health science studies field, how much do you encourage them to try and just go get certified or get a little more educated on learning this matter?
Yeah, I would say go out. It's your due diligence to help the community because there will be a time and a place for it. It's going to be scary, but knowing the right things to do is very important.
I also think it's important because if you have one person that knows CPR, what happens when that person goes down? You know, because if that person's, you know, this dummy here, then, you know, we're screwed, you know, and this guy's dying and there's nothing we can do about it. But it's very easy to learn. Once you learn it again, if, God forbid, you ever have to use it, you can save someone's life.
Awesome. So, Joe, you want to go first and sort of learning how this goes?
Yeah, I mean, okay. So, from my understanding, seems like, let's do it. All right.
Swap.
All right. So, from my understanding, you're going to take your hand like this, and you put your fingers like this, and simply what I would do is, with more so the bottom of my palm, is kind of push in right in the middle.
You're going for his stomach right now.
Yeah.
Stomach.
You're gonna kill him right now.
I'm a little high.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right
a little
there,
low.
right there.
All right. Here we go. And then right in the middle of the chest, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to do your compressions. Mm-hmm. And then, all right. And then obviously if you had a breathing barrier, you would do.
Right. Yeah. Big thing is don't bend your elbows. You want to keep them straight.
Straight.
People will push and push and push, and it'll tire you out more than anything. And then you know that's another thing I don't think we talked about is swapping out is super important because if I go into cardiac arrest because I'm pushing so hard on this guy because I won't give up, then we just got 2 problems on our hands. You know, so.
Yeah. So then it's like if I went in now with like a refined form per se, I would go in. Oh, you want to swap spots really quickly? Yeah. So I'd be a little higher up. I'd have the hand there with the palm.
Yeah, you want to go between the nipples.
Right there, and that's where you'd sort of apply the pressure without bending the elbows
Yeah.
there, and just keeping the steady pace.
How fast do you think you'd go?
Well, I've seen like the American Heart Association posts with like the songs and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I always remember like staying alive back when I was certified at one point.
Okay.
But I think that's what I would try and stay with, because I think that matches like the BPM.
Yeah. 100 to 120.
Yeah.
That's what you're going for.
And then you would just have to go back in for that and sort of rinse and repeat until there's a result there.
Yeah.
Well, Mackenzie, Tim, thank you guys so much for showing us this demonstration. We really appreciate your time today. And yeah, if you guys want to learn more about this, there are resources on campus here at Siena to help, and the health department and nursing department can certainly go out of their way to teach you.
When we come back, Matt Coloma takes us to the ASL Club on this week's edition of Join the Club.
ASL ranks as the third most studied language at colleges. But did you know we have an ASL club here on campus? Our very own Matt Coloma takes us there.
With the future of ASL in jeopardy at Siena, I've spent a lot of time with the department recently. That's why on this week's Join the Club, it seemed only fitting to highlight the ASL Club. And I am right outside the Key Auditorium in Roger Bacon, where inside the ASL Club is hosting their movie night. So, the uniqueness of this club stems from the fact that it's not only made up of Siena students, but also the local deaf community.
And we're helping students learn new science, watching them to see if they get it right or wrong. It's really just a great time for us to all hang out and learn new things.
I got the chance to meet Professor Collender in person, as well as learn to spell my name and sign. Gianna also told me why she thinks you guys should join the club.
It's just a fun way to maybe talk to friends or talk to someone who might be mute, for example. But overall, you're going to meet someone who needs accessibility to and are not verbal. And it's not a dying language, it's a beautiful language. And there's a whole community out there that loves the language and loves people learning it.
While they may not use spoken language in this club, they make you feel welcome through signs of kindness. For Morning Brew, I'm Matt Coloma.
This week's Kirka Student of the Week is studying how the production of certain cell tissue can affect reproduction of worms. Our Ethan Smith has more.
On this edition of Kirka Student of the Week, we're back at the Morrell Science Center, and just as I said goodbye to leeches, now it's on to worms.
So I've been working with C. elegans. I've been imaging gene knockdowns with the septin gene in C. elegans to see if that will help vulva formation, see if the cells will not be able to migrate properly and form that structure.
Alyssa is passionate about her work she's doing, and she even gave me a demonstration on how to prep C. elegans for her research.
So for this, I put together a slide. I had to pick the C. elegans into a liquid and put it onto the slide. And then I come into here and I put the slide here. And then usually I would just go through and on the 10x microscope, that's where I can able to see like more worms on the slide, zoom in, focus in on it, and then I would switch to the 40x part of the microscope. And then I can zoom in and see if I see any worms on there, focus on the part that I want to see. Which right there looks good. And then I would go to the computer over here, which then I can image the worm where I would have different fluorescence going onto them to see the septin gene and then also the SM cell.
While C. elegans or roundworms are the focus of Alyssa's research, she feels the most rewarding part of the job can be seen without a microscope.
Most rewarding part was getting to know my professor that I work with and other students that I work with. Getting to go to San Diego to present my research was probably the most fun. And also working in Woods Hole in Massachusetts this summer was a lot of fun. Getting to do different research, work with different professors there.
Yet, she still makes spare time for out-of-class trips and hobbies.
During the winter, I love to ski, which ski season is sadly over. I also love to read and then go to coffee shops with my friends all the time, farmers markets too.
With all those accomplishments, one's got to wonder what Alyssa's brewing up after she walks the stage in May.
So after college, I am applying to PA school this April or May, and then I will wait to see if I get in and hopefully go and be a PA. And then during that time of being a PA, there's some programs where you can do research during it, which I hope to see if I can also do. So my top school right now is Northeastern in Boston, also University of Washington in Seattle.
Whether you end up on the East Coast or the West Coast, Siena is proud to call Alyssa Lundman this week's Kirkus Student of the Week. Congratulations on your achievements, both past, present, and of course, future. Reporting for the Morning Brew, I'm Ethan Smith.
Welcome back to What's Fizzin'. Let's see if this week's collection can compare to the madness we saw last week. Starting off with a banger, me in my bedroom talking to ChatGPT. Very relatable one here. ChatGPT needs to be serenaded in order to provide optimal answers, and that requires taking the time to get to know each other a little bit. Next one here is POV. You have 12:40 registration. Sunday at 12, 25 of 30 seats open, but Monday at 10, 0 of 30 seats open. Very relatable moment. I remember as a freshman, I thought I was finally going to be able to take classes for my major. I was heavily mistaken, and I took nothing but electives. Next one here, we've got YTF. Was it nicer in March, all caps, than April, all caps? So the weather works in that way where a warm front comes in and it's nice out and it's enjoyable. And then since we live in New York, it's gonna snow all week this week and be unenjoyable and not fun. And please come back warm weather. Next one here. God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers. That is fighting the urge to take a nap between the hours of 2:30 and 4:30 p.m. I've never taken a nap before in my life. I'm not soft. Next. If upvoting your own fizz post is a crime, lock me up. Consider me a felon because I've upvoted my own fizz numerous times. Next one here is, girl brought a pet snake to class. My God, I hope that's not real. That would be awful. If you're in that class, I'd run. Next is, when I'm at Saga, I grab the desserts with my bare hands. I've never seen a more real fizz in my life. Also, they don't put the tongs anywhere near the actual dessert cabinet. So for all my 4 years, I have always grabbed a Rice Krispie treat with my bare hands. I just grab the one I'm gonna grab. So the next one here we've got is a singular plastic spoon wrapped in plastic, which says, ah yes, because I totally needed more spoons to be wrapped in single wrap plastic. Where we got a refizz that said, no, you were on your own with this one. Where are all my germaphobe game at? Because I know we all approve of this. Honestly, this is a pretty valid point. Sometimes things be getting crusty, musty, and dusty, and the best part about this is you can take one home and use it when you actually want to use it. Next one we've got here is, as a student job, there should be an on-campus delivery for Piazza and quesadillas. I would pay a lot of money to get my quesadillas delivered, and I would pay even more money to get Piazza delivered because I've never gone there this year because it's too far away. I haven't gone in the last 2 years. I don't see the point to go get a Piazza if it's so far away. Next one is, what if we gaslit every teacher and staff that we have the day off on Friday and no one shows up? So yeah, happy senior skip day, seniors. I won't be seeing you in class today because it's senior skip day. The secret is out. And finally, we have an impressive photo of two cars passionately kissing in the Mac parking lot. Personally, I don't know how one achieves this feat. If you look with your eyes, you can see that the car in front of you is there, And some of us don't drive directly into the car in front of us when we park our cars. And that's all we have for this week's edition of What's Fizzin'. When we come back, we take a look at what's happening on campus next week before Easter break.
Before we head out, let's take a look at the week ahead.
Interested in being a secret agent? This Monday, there will be an FBI internship information session. This virtual event will be from 4 to 6 p.m. You can find the details on Handshake and the Digest.
This Monday is the last day you can submit your papers for the Ted Winowski Student Conference in Business. The annual event will take place on May 2nd, where business students present across 4 segments: economics and public administration, marketing and management, entrepreneurship, and accounting and finance. If you're interested, be sure to check out the Digest for more information.
All ribosomes are not created equal. The title for today's chemistry and biochemistry seminar at 12:45 with Dr. Mark Schmidt from SUNY Upstate Medical University. If you're interested, be sure to register. And if you want to meet Dr. Schmidt, there will be a lunch starting at 11:30 with the professor.
Siena has won the undergraduate division of Regeneron's annual STEM poster showcase 2 years in a row. Want to see if they can make it a 3rd consecutive win? Be sure to check out the showcase today from 10:30 to 1 at Hudson Valley Community College. Be sure to check out all the amazing projects and support your fellow Saints.
Do you know a senior who deserves recognition for being an outstanding citizen? You can nominate them for the Civic Leadership Award. The Civic Leadership Award honors a graduating senior who demonstrates outstanding political civic leadership through active collaborative engagement, democracy, and public life. Today is the last day to nominate. Nominations can be sent to Kathy Renaud.
April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and the Sister Thea Bowman Center for Women is collecting toiletries and household items for Unity House, which offers 24/7 confidential support for survivors. If you want to get involved, need help, or want to donate, you can reach them one of 3 ways. Call 518-272-2370. You can text 518-720-6161, or use web chat online, the link rc.chat/UHDVS. The collection ends April 25th, and you can drop off donations at the SSU during free period on April 9th and 16th, the chapel, or the mission office. You will also receive a purple bracelet upon donation.
Do you just love working with data or simply want to sharpen your skills? Join Data Fest, this weekend-long competition where student teams analyze a real-world data set, present insights, and compete for prizes. Free food, expert support, and resume-boosting fun. The event runs from today to Sunday. To register, go to datafest.siena.edu.
As this month progresses, Venus will become more visible. The Brew Observatory is hosting a public viewing tonight from 8:30 to 10 p.m. to see the planet and the stars. You can find the 27.5-inch plane wave telescope on the 4th floor of Roger Bacon. If you're interested in attending, you can reserve tickets on Eventbrite. And that's all the time we have today. Thank you for sharing your morning with us.
Make sure to subscribe to the Siena College Communications Program YouTube page and follow the SCTV Instagram page at sienacollege.tv. Have a good Easter break.